pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call?
Lois Tiley,
Yes.
Diana Coots,
Here.
Christine Newman,
Here.
Richard Horner, absent, Jim McPhail,
Here.
Diane Dennis,
Here.
Sarah Tiley. Here.
Any approval or adjustments to the agenda? That would be you. None? Okay. New business, announcements, public comment, any public comment?
Yeah, I got a comment. Hello, I'm Lou Butko, and my question to this council is, my understanding is our village manager resigned, and I was wondering why $41,000 of taxpayers' money was given to him.
$41,000.
Well, we paid him 6 months severance pay and
That's
vacation.
confidential. That was in closed meeting, we can't discuss.
Yeah, but the
it.
agreement was public.
Okay.
It was on TV.
Yeah, the agreement was public, and so that's what we agreed to in closed session. Any other comments?
I got a question if I want to walk up there.
Okay, you don't have to walk up there. Gotta talk loud though.
Did he originally have a one-year contract when he was hired? And if so, when was that contract ended?
It was
2 years.
it was a 2-year contract,
contract.
yeah. But it
The original.
renewed every year.
Yeah,
We went over it every year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the contract in January was an open-ended contract.
So
It didn't have an end.
Okay, so it was renewed in January.
That was the last time.
Okay, and then
Yes.
the decision was made in June
Mhm,
or May to change ways.
mhm,
Okay.
yes.
So how was the severance of 6 months determined?
That was
That
in
was
his
in closed,
contract.
that was in closed session. I don't know. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, I'm very cautious about talking about it at all because we discussed,
We
it
agreed
was a
not to discuss
personnel
it.
agreement. It was supposed to be kept confidential and it was discussed in closed session.
I'm
So-
not talking about confidential information, I'm talking about public information.
Okay, then there is no public information around why
No,
it was done.
the public information is why was a sum of 6 months determined? That's public information.
He had
How
that
is-
in his
how is that-
contract.
How is that determined?
That was in his contract.
The 6 months was in his contract that he had, and so was the healthcare, and then, I think there
The-
was
the
another
benefit
thing.
package, yeah,
it
the
was part of
insurance
benefit
package. Yeah.
And we gave him that anyway,
So that severance.
because we
was-
didn't have there was no cause, he just resigned, so,
So that severance was in his contract,
yes, it was.
that anytime he would receive a 6 month severance for separation with the village.
I would have to talk to the attorney before I answer that one.
Yeah,
Well, it should be in his contract, which is also public
it was
information.
in his contract, and you can request a copy of his contract if you want to. But not what we discussed in closed session,
I understand that.
okay?
Well, my question is, are taxpayers voting public here is now on the hook for $41,000?
Well, it's a budgeted item, it's in there, and whether he's here or not here, it's there.
Right, but now you have to hire a new village manager,
We
which you're
do.
gonna have to budget for another, what's that sum gonna be?
Well, we won't know until we hire the new village manager, and it'll probably take 3 to 4 months to get one.
Probably 3 to 4 months.
To get one. And
Probably
then
have to
in the meantime,
negotiate
we have an
that.
interim manager that's not working full-time.
And how much is the interim manager getting paid per hour?
He gets well, I don't know what he gets
I
paid.
don't get paid that.
He doesn't get paid it, but Spicer, it's through Spicer Engineering, and we're paying $115 an hour.
$115
Yes.
an hour to spicers
Yes,
for 48 hours a week?
no,
No, it's not full-time.
no, it's not full-time, it's not.
Hours
even-
worked
It's,
and
it's just hours worked, it's not even close to full-time so far.
20 to 30
Yeah.
is what it's scheduled at, but I haven't hit 20 yet, I don't think.
Yeah,
I probably will for these
So the
projects.
village is paying, in addition to the severance, another $115 an hour to Spicer for an interim village manager.
right.
Yes.
It was either that or we would have got a different interim village manager. And we need one here. You can't go on without one, so,
So is that in our budget or your budget?
sure, it's in there. I'm sure it's gonna come out pretty close between what we budgeted for him, what he's not getting out of what he would have gotten, and,
Well, he's already gotten a severance pay of 6 months, so you've already allocated
Yeah, I
money for
understand that.
him.
yeah,
Now,
that's
above, in
gone.
addition to, you have to pay $115 a month, or, excuse me, $115 an hour for an interim village manager.
Mhm. That's correct.
And has that been budgeted?
If the budget comes up short, it will be an amendment to the budget, and if it works out, then there won't be an amendment to the budget. Cause that'll come out of the village manager's pay through March, actually, it's next March it's budgeted for.
Yeah,
And if the new one comes in, we might
but it'll
have
be
to adjust
handled
again.
like any adjustment or
Yeah.
new item that's added throughout the year that we have to budget for. I mean, the budget
I
will,
understand that, but that's just gonna be additional cost to the taxpayers where other things can't get done in the village because we're paying $115 a month
I don't,
per hour,
I don't see anything that's not gonna get done that we were gonna get done. I don't see a problem with that.
Are we gonna fix any roads this summer?
I don't know, I think we were gonna talk about that, but,
Because right now the
we
village.
hadn't planned on,
Right now the
we hadn't
village
planned
has
on
a-
fixing any roads this
Right,
summer,
but
so
right
it's
now
not a
the
budgeted
village
item.
has a millage that we're all paying for.
That won't be touched. That's in a separate thing all by itself. For roads. Because that's what we said we'd do with it, and that's what we did.
Yeah,
with
that
it.
can't be used for anything.
It can't be used for anything else. That can't be used for anything else.
It's just building up. And then when
It
you
is,
do
it's building up
use-
nicely.
Water and
Well,
sewer can't be used for anything else, so, you know.
General
yeah,
fund, it'll come out of the,
yeah.
and, you know, and other funds. I mean, it just,
Still, it's all coming out of the taxpayers' pocket.
yes, it is. Yes. it is.
everything that's spent inside the village is pretty much.
Out of the taxpayers'
Yeah.
pocket. Yes, that's. the
One
true
way or
story.
another.
Yep. Anything else? Okay, on to new business, the manager search.
I put in the packet my first shot at the advertisement, and I wanted to see if you guys have anything that I left out or that we may wanna add in.
I always have something I wanna change, you know, so you have to get used to it.
Well, that's why I brought it here, just so I could hear that.
Okay, down here, it talks about ability to effectively communicate with the village council. I'd like to have added and the residents. You know, that, our residents are the most important people. If you don't have residents, you don't have anything else. And someone who can deal effectively with anybody coming in with a problem or just wanting to talk, to handle it. Okay, I'd
Okay.
like somehow in there,
Mhm.
okay,
That could be under innovative problem solving too,
it could.
yes.
Other than that, I thought it looked really good. I
It
just think
did.
we need to add residents in there someplace.
Okay.
Yep. Yes, I agree.
Has this gone out for?
No, I wanted to get your input before I sent it out. It'll go out probably Monday.
And where will it go out, on the internet?
We'll go on the internet, the MML website probably, and a couple local papers. Anybody else got any comments on it?
I thought it was good.
Yeah. We never put anything in there about grants, writing grants or anything before. That just came up with Matt, right, in the discussions, that he had been doing that. We didn't have that in the last one,
I don't know,
but that would be
that would be a
something-
good thing, yeah. Grant writing experience would be good.
Yeah. I don't know if we had that in the last search, but I know we
I
discussed
don't
it
think we did.
quite a bit.
That would be something helpful if we
It
could
would,
put a-
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever gone out to have a grant written, I think it's all
Yeah.
been in-house, one way or another.
Okay. I just wanted to pick your brain a little bit on what you're looking for in a manager. Last time we discussed, do we want somebody right out of college? Do we want somebody with a few years' experience? Do we want somebody that's got gray hair like me and old? I just wanted to feel a little bit, I'm sure you want somebody with the right personality that can deal with everybody.
They got somebody that can do a good job for us, you know.
Yeah, I would look for someone with a personality that can get along with people, is able to go out and talk to the public, doesn't have a problem with it. I would also be looking for someone who is good at budget writing.
And that was in his this thing that he handed us.
Yeah.
Okay,
Preparing
okay.
budget.
I really don't care what age they are.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't
think
either.
I
Experience
want a
and
brand new one
ability to
again. Do you want a brand new one again?
No, I don't.
get in
Some
there and-
experience.
Some
I think we'd like
experience.
them to have some experience
Okay.
before they get here.
Not only good communication with the public, but between our committees and. when
And
you-
council.
And council. Oh.
Yeah, you would be fine. Do you come cheaper than $115? No. I know what you.
I wish I made that
I know
much.
what you, I was gonna say, I know what you made the last time you were here. This is,
I know people are, I know they'll be fair, but being fair, but also being a strong or tough boss when necessary, when you have to get on employees, and we have pretty good employees, but sometimes you need to be tough with them
Yeah,
now and then.
managerial with personnel.
Yeah. High expectations, you'll get a good job, right?
The last time we put in there, of course, we can't require residency, but we put a bonus if they lived there. We set a base salary, and that's what you get if you don't live here. If you move to, when and if you move to town, you get an additional amount.
I think that.
The other thing we could put in there, even if they don't move to town, that we can require within 20 miles. By law, you can require within 20 miles, but you could put that and then put the other situation in there if you wanted to.
well, I think if we put in there that we pay if they move to town, they also lose it if they move back out of town.
I agree. We didn't do that last time,
No, and we need to do that.
and we should have done that,
Yeah.
yes.
As far as 20 miles, where does that put you? That takes in Hemlock and,
20 miles will take you right out to
Chesnee.
Gratiot,
You could live in
Mhm.
Shields.
It'll be like
Shields.
Hemlock, Shields,
Yeah.
Chesaning,
Thomas
Thomas
Township.
Township.
Thomas Township,
Yeah.
that area.
yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know, I like them, I prefer they live here.
I don't know, how
but-
far is Clio?
It'd be more
25.
than,
Is
be
it?
more than
Okay.
20, I think, yeah.
It's 25 or so.
Montrose might make it.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's just something you
What do you
could,
guys think?
you could require that, then if they don't decide to move to town to take advantage of the extra money, then at least you got them
yeah.
in a
I would
pretty
like
good
within-
circle.
We can start with you within 20 miles.
They're going to have to come back for meetings in the evening,
Yeah.
Right.
which is the,
But that's up to
And if-
them, you know, if they want,
if
but
they
I don't
wanna
think we should
travel it.
furnish a car if we're gonna let them
No.
live within 20 miles. I don't
Right.
think we should furnish them a car.
No.
Or if they come to work and then pick up the car,
That's okay.
use it for business and
Yep.
park it. and
Which
go home.
brings up a question, we also wanna take a look, I've got a bug about changing our manager ordinance, okay? We also wanna take a look at the contract, the manager's contract that we write.
Yes.
And we want, and I don't know if that's through you or if that's through our village lawyer, but we also need some changes in that contract.
Well, it's cheaper to start with me and then just have an attorney review it.
Okay, all right.
It's a little
Start
cheaper
with it.
that way, I think.
That's something that,
Yeah.
cause I think the contract has to be both ways. I mean, you can't just make it in favor of one party and not the other.
Right.
And I think that definitely we're in a position where we need to have the village, protected as well by contract. So more protection for us.
I think Gary Campbell put that contract together,
Yeah.
didn't he? Yeah.
I think in the,
And I think then we rewrote it, pretty much, so it was a combination thing.
yeah. I think we want to address the expenditure procedure for the manager too.
And that is in the
Clean that up a
ordinance.
little bit in the ordinance, right?
That's in the ordinance, and that ordinance, and I'm hoping that now, Chris and Hal, when they were managers, anytime an ordinance had to be changed, they would go, I'm not sure what sites, Chris could probably tell you there, and they would download manager ordinances that other smaller, similar communities had for us to take a look at, and then see what provisions other people have in there, just to get kind of a start on how we're gonna do this. But that whole ordinance, definitely we need to have that changed, that's just not a good ordinance.
We can get that from the Michigan Municipal League and then a few of the villages around us maybe. Got copies we can look at.
Can you get some of those for
Yeah.
us, and so like, we
Sure.
can start, maybe have them at the next meeting, we can start taking a look at that and start, deciding what we want in there. Okay, is that good or not?
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, can we get a copy of the current contract? I don't know if I've got one right now.
Oh, his,
At home, you should have it at home.
I had, well, it's in my folders, yeah. I just, I can stop up and grab it. I just want one to look
Yeah.
at.
The contract or the ordinance, which one are you talking about?
Probably both.
ordinance is in the big green
Big
book.
Yeah, and I can pull that one up.
That's only one page too, I think, or
It's
it
only
might be
page,
on two.
yeah.
It's on two.
I've never got that big green book yet, just so
Okay,
you know.
yeah,
Oh, that's another problem,
that brings
yeah.
up a
Yeah.
point, and I don't even think our village president has it. We need to make sure that every member of the council has both the zoning book of ordinances and the big ordinance book, the regular.
I've got the
ordinance
little one.
book. Pardon me?
I've got the little one.
Okay,
I just don't have the big one.
okay,
Little one,
the zoning.
The
ordinance,
zoning one.
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. Do we need two?
We
Yeah, I
need-
don't think he has any.
Yeah, you have it, I think you have it.
And I just got
long enough.
mine, I think.
I
Okay.
have them.
Just
Yeah.
got it, okay.
We
So we
didn't
need to.
get some of the green, we didn't get some of those green books back, so I think what we did is we had to just go to the website and print off copies
You don't
for
have
you
to
guys,
look.
because not everybody
So it's not
turned
in
in
a
those
green
proper
book.
books back.
Okay.
And you gave them into a white book? Yeah.
I think we
Get
just
one.
put them in binders that we had
I've
here,
got
we
just
printed
the
them off the
little
website.
zoning one.
Okay, but
Okay.
Lois needs a zoning one too, Jenny, she doesn't have that.
And then, anything else for the manager's search?
On that financial spending, that we talked about, has that been in effect, was it in effect when you were here, Chris?
It was $500.
Oh, now it's 15.
And I don't think it's exactly what, I talked to Dennis about this the other day, cause I was a little confused. I thought that the manager could spend up to $500 a month on incidental things that he needed to, but Dennis explained to me that every expenditure should run through this council. Now, every expenditure does not run through
Every
this council.
expenditure over the
Over
limit.
the 500, or?
Yeah, but I said to you, we don't even see the payroll. And you said we should be seeing the payroll.
Yeah, you should be approving the payroll.
Yeah, and we don't approve the payroll.
We need, yeah,
It's
we,
not in that
we
list
need-
of bills.
right. But
Yes,
yeah,
and
but
they
how
should
that
have that
$1,500 got in there, I don't know, that's really a bad.
Well, we
word.
changed it. Matt wanted that changed to 1,500. Does anybody else remember that? We said you weren't.
No.
I
here.
remember the
Were you
first time
here?
it happened to me.
Yeah. It had to do with Christmas lights.
I was here for Matt, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I
if
was
you
not.
remember, the Christmas lights went over the $500.
yes.
And so we were told that he would rather have 1,500 so they could buy the Christmas lights they needed
Yes,
without having to get prior approval. So we upped it to 1,500. Well, then he continued to use that over and over and over again.
okay.
So there's gotta be, either we need to budget more for Christmas lights, so
Well,
we don't have
but
to
you
worry
got
about that.
you got a lot of things that, if you stop and think about it, are gonna be big, and, you know, if you buy a truckload of Stonecrete now,
Well, it's expensive now.
it's expensive, and if they gotta hold a patch today, they don't wanna wait until the next meeting to get it approved, so you can't get it so low that they can't function.
So that would be like Christmas lights, fertilizer.
Anything over
Well,
$500.
anything over 500.
Or
So-
1,500 or
So
wherever
now
you
would be
set it.
anything over 1,500. But we
But
asked him.
typically, it doesn't get used like it was getting used.
Yeah, we had
Right.
asked not to install
And
cameras.
it's also,
And he used the 1,500 to go out and buy the cameras and get them anyway. And that's the kind of stuff I wanna stop. I mean,
Yep.
we
And the police
if
bikes
we
and
say
the
don't
Well-
do something, we mean
laptops.
don't do
So-
it, you know?
If we put it at 500, then what's that gonna do? Is that gonna stop until
Well-
the next meeting, so we get is that what that's
Well,
gonna
I
do?
would hope it would be a clause in there about if it's important to the job being done. I mean trivial things buying, and that was kinda going on. It wasn't emergency things that we needed a police bike. It wasn't, that could wait till the next council meeting, but if you gotta have stone, you've got a job to do, and that's.
and there's a lot of things like that that's gonna come
Yeah.
up, stuff just isn't cheap anymore.
Yeah.
No,
You know?
it's not, and I always assumed, that if they needed gravel for a road, it was in the maintenance budget, therefore they could go get it. It's not the way
That's
that
not,
works.
no, if they have a spending limit, they got a spending limit,
Okay,
and then if they're gonna buy something that's over that, it should be brought to the council for approval before they buy it. So you don't wanna get it too short, or you're gonna end up having 2 or 3 meetings a month
yeah,
to get things approved
And I don't
if
wanna
they
hold
need
it up for 3
no,
weeks.
I don't wanna do that
But I
either.
think you can word
Yeah.
it better than it's worded.
Well,
in-
the other thing, you know, if they don't do what we want them to do, we can just let them go. I mean,
Well,
We
reprimand
can
them.
always reel
you
it
can-
in a little
you
bit.
can reprimand them first, tell them what you don't like that they're doing, and they'll fix it.
There were a lot of trivial things that didn't need immediate attention. But to fix the gravel, we need that. The things we really, really need to keep working.
Actually, I think we store gravel, but that's okay.
Well,
But is it a
Well-
one-time purchase thing?
But he
Is it-
still has to buy it at
No,
some
they go
point.
get it by the truckload.
No, but I'm saying, is the 1,500 just a one-time purchase, or is it throughout the month?
No,
Oh,
it's-
it's a
That-
It's
one-time.
the-
So it could happen over and over,
Yeah, you could have 6 of them in a month,
Yeah.
depending on what you got
Can you
going
find
on.
us some language, you know, from some
Yeah, I
of the
think we,
contracts or something?
and
that
also, the
limit
way it's
that?
written in there, he can sell stuff too,
Right.
and
That's not good.
typically,
They don't have to
nothing
sell.
gets sold without
No,
council approval.
so we need
I mean,
language.
because the things you sell are used equipment or
yeah.
used police car, all that
Right.
stuff should go through the council, not through the manager.
I don't think that went through the council either.
I thought a car was sold and it appeared this year, and when I asked, well, I shouldn't get into that, but I think we need to know what's going on too, and
I think it just needs cleaned up. It's just not written very well.
Okay.
So we'll look at that ordinance too, and I'll get some samples of that too while we're doing it.
Cause that's where the $1,500 is in, it's in that, the one in the big book, Jim.
That,
All right.
that amount isn't typically out of line in
Yeah.
today's world.
Oh, it's
but
not?
He said
No.
it's not until.
Most,
We need something
just
in
how
there
to
to,
use it.
yeah, just something in there to,
even your DPW, are they at 500?
they have their own budget that
Yeah,
they
but they're
can-
at,
Yeah,
they're
but-
at 500.
They're at 500.
Maybe that should be looked at too. I don't even know if they know they're at 500.
Just go out and give what they want.
Okay. Yeah.
they do.
We'll take a look at it. We'll,
Okay.
we'll talk internally a little bit too and see what we
Okay.
got there.
Find out what they think they have. Yes.
Anything else on the search part of it?
No, I think it looks fine. And all of the, stuff gets sent here, and then when we think we have sufficient people to look at, we'll go ahead. That's kind of what it says, isn't it? That you're going to accept applications until the position is filled.
Filled, right,
Yeah.
so, we'll give it 30 days
Oh,
probably
yeah.
before we do anything, and if we got a good amount, we'll start looking at them.
Okay.
If not, I am going to the managers conference in July, at Spicer's
Post.
expense.
Okay. Thank you.
And,
Thanks.
I'll post it up there where all the managers are too, so that'll help.
Where's that at?
It's in Alpena this year.
We paid for conferences also, is that a thing they always
That's
do?
normal.
Is it
Yeah.
every, okay,
Yeah.
You want them to go there.
yeah, to get
They're left
the
out
new
in the
ones.
Supposedly, they learn a lot of stuff there,
Yeah,
if they go there.
but I remember that
Did you?
request being made.
I
Did a
did,
lot of stuff there,
I did.
then they're good then.
Well, it's good to keep
Mhm.
up.
I like that
The
conference I
more
went
people
to.
you know, the better off you are.
I was gonna say,
Calling
the
us
people
questions.
interaction is as important as the conference.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Uh,
Networking.
the
It is.
networking
It
is
is.
important.
Okay, moving on to, is everybody okay with that?
Yeah. I am.
Okay, interim manager expectations. I wrote down just a couple of things. Was there anything you have to tell us?
Well, I have a whole couple pages.
Okay, let me go.
Go
Uh,
ahead.
The contamination cleanup, I wanna know where that is and when that's gonna be done out here. The
Stop right
water-
there, let me respond to
Okay.
that one, that's the first one I had on my list, so we'll just get rid of that one. That will be on your next agenda on the 10th to award the contracts.
Oh,
The bids have been received, we reviewed them today, and everything will be coming to the next meeting.
okay.
Excellent.
So once that's awarded, how long before they can?
I told him that it was a high priority for the council, so to warn the low bidder that he ought to be ready.
All right,
Not that it's approved, but be ready.
all right.
So,
Good job.
Okay, thank you, that's one
That's
done.
nice.
Initiative, I like it.
Yep, and then we're in the, middle of that water and sewer rate study, and we're gonna keep going with that, right? With John,
yeah,
and decide what we're going to do as far as water mains. and
John will be
sewer.
at the 10th meeting also, and
Okay.
he will make a recommendation of how much and what it's gonna do.
Okay,
And these are what everybody's gonna bring, right? These,
yeah, everybody has to bring back that packet that we
This is
got
what
with
everybody's
all
gonna
those
bring to the next
maps in
meeting?
it,
Okay.
And magnifying glass.
and a magnifying
Yes.
glass, because it's very small print.
Hopefully he'll have something in ready that's a little bigger
Well, I
that,
hope so, and,
I don't know.
and there were maps that were left here,
They're
just over there, that shows the different things that he was talking to us about and where they're at.
I discussed that project with him a little bit,
Yeah,
and their thoughts kind of the time you guys decide to tell him what to do, it'll probably be 2023 before the project's actually built.
really? 2023?
Is that your
Okay.
expectation?
Well, I think that was our expectations.
I think
If-
so.
If you looked at that rate study thing, it went out 5 years before
Yeah.
we did anything, before we bonded,
Mhm.
and then we had the payments ready to make the payments.
Well, I'm here to
So,
tell you
yeah.
that you got a couple water mains that's not gonna make it till 2023.
Okay,
And that maybe we need to address a couple blocks of water main replacement before that.
all right.
okay.
So
Would that be over by the,
over
Fulton
around the
Street?
Fulton Street area.
Fulton?
Oh, yeah.
Twice
had the 5
they've had a
breaks.
break since the first of the year where they've had 5 breaks each
Yeah.
time,
yeah,
I think that's a good idea to,
so.
and that would be a
that
small
quickly.
project, right? Small lure?
I think there's 2 one-block sections, I
Okay.
think. I haven't got into it deeply,
What do you think
but-
that would cost?
I don't know, but I'll find out
Okay.
if you want me to pursue it, but those aren't gonna last till 23.
And is
They're
that
in
gonna
bad
then
shape.
mess up that whole, graph that he had out here about paying for bonds? if we spend some of our cash now, I mean, I.
Well,
understand-
it should
I
bring the
understand it's
project
a
down
good
that
thing.
much too,
Okay,
I would think, so. Although I'm not sure what he's gonna recommend either, so.
Yeah, I
haven't been
happened to
privy
grab
any of
the-
that, so.
I grabbed the last account balance report, and, we have $404,000 in water right now. We have more in sewer. Is there something you'd like to do in sewer?
Well, we may have to borrow some, huh?
Now, could you borrow, and then when you get the
If,
You can.
grant and, I'm saying,
It's not a grant, it's a bond.
or the bond, could you borrow and then repay yourself?
you could, and although.
There's no
I think-
stipulations on that?
I think you could do 2 blocks for less than the fund balance that you got. It'd take it down to 25-30%,
Mhm.
maybe, but that'd still give you 3 or 4 months operating on top of your normal collection, but I'd
Okay.
have to work on that a little bit, but.
Have to look at, I don't know, I don't want it to be too tight either,
Wanna be
but
tight.
man, it's a mess over there.
I know
Oh,
it is,
yeah.
it's gotta be fixed, I know that.
So,
Yeah.
if you want me to pursue it, I'll pursue it, I just
Well,
haven't done
pursue
any
it.
more
Let's
than,
pursue
No,
it, and let's
I
get
would
some-
pursue it, yeah.
I want it pursued
Yeah.
also.
Especially since the other one isn't gonna happen until like 5 years out.
These little repairs and all these that we're gonna be doing on it's just
Well,
gonna.
That
that's
costs a
gonna
lot of
nickel-
money, too.
That's gonna
Oh.
nickel and dime us to
It's just
death.
gonna.
I mean, we don't have an operating, I can't think of hydrant there right now either. It doesn't operate,
Right.
it's completely dead,
No.
which really messes with Union Court, because the way that I talked to fire chief was they have to have so many fire hydrants to run it, because there's only
For
2
the
hydrants
pressure,
there
right.
right now, and one of them is completely gonna be taken away because it has to continuously feed the sprinkler system that's in Union Court if it ever caught on fire. So that takes you down to 1 hydrant, and now that's not gonna even suffice, so they're gonna have to run a shuttle at that point.
where's that at?
Union Court is on Flint and Fulton.
The old
Yeah.
school.
Also, it's the
old
same area.
elementary
Yeah.
See,
school.
that's where it is, yep.
Okay.
Yeah. It's right where the brakes are.
Yeah, because they said they couldn't fix the
Yeah.
hydrant
Until
until
they did the
that main was taken care of anyway.
Yep, the hydrant's down.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, look.
Okay,
yeah,
I'll look at
Look
that.
into that.
Okay.
The roof at the large pavilion, we were told the bids were out. I was wondering if you've seen anything about that?
I
It's
haven't
supposed to be a metal roof or steel roof or whatever,
Metal roof.
metal roof.
I
That's
haven't,
all I know.
I haven't seen it, but they're supposed to have bids for the 10th meeting.
How were those bids done? Because the way
They were, contractors were called.
Yeah, that's what I
and
said.
met at the site and reviewed it with one of the workers.
So
Okay.
why aren't we publishing that as a open bid to the public?
That was my question,
Well,
and they
because
said they were
I say
told
this
just to
because
call them, yeah.
my brother owns a roofing company, and he's literally the cheapest place around.
Was he called?
No. Because we just got bids on our house through like 4 or 5 different companies, and my brother's like $11,000 cheaper than all those companies.
Well, you have to be careful with that though too.
Yeah,
Um,
but why wasn't that put out to bid?
I don't know.
I feel like anything that we're
All that
doing
stuff
big
should
like
be put
that
out
should
to
be
bids.
put
I
out
don't
to
know
bid.
why.
So they're bidding it apples to apples.
Yeah,
Can we do that then? Or is it already done?
They've got some coming in, we can scratch them and
just
do
put it
that.
out to bids. Tell
Yeah,
them
I
what
would
we want.
just notify him and say that we've got a,
His
And we need to
theory,
send
Why,
that stuff out, you
put it
know,
up
so
there.
Yeah.
that everybody's aware of it, yeah, we do.
yeah.
Well, and if the same guy doesn't talk to each contractor,
you get different
Exactly.
things
Yeah, you're
going
gonna get
on.
different answers.
I mean, there's a
It can
difference
run
in the
into a
gauge of
huge
the
problem.
steel and,
And all of
Yeah.
a sudden it's up there and you're going, that's not what I wanted. And it's like, well, that's what we heard. So his theory was, he's got money budgeted for a pavilion room. And if it, tell me if I'm wrong on this, if it came in less than that, he was going to roof the dugouts.
Right.
Now,
is that in
I'm
the same
still
part?
not sure,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm still not sure how we got into roofing the dugouts, but I
The
guess.
dugout on field 2 has a massive hole in it.
Yeah, they're shot.
Okay,
Those roofs on those dugouts are terrible.
They're bad.
I know, but the
And
village
it-
never used to do that.
No, and I think the way it was explained, the way I understood it when he explained it was, we're not gonna do it if we don't have it within what we budgeted. So,
But we were never, ever involved. This all, a special
Who did
committee
it
came
before?
up.
Well,
No,
who's
the
responsible for
parks-
the dugouts
The
then?
Parks and Rec,
It was
right?
always the baseball
park.
league, the Little League was responsible.
Yeah,
for
they
that.
had
Okay.
funds where they kept things up. Of course, we kept the park up too.
Well, we would buy them diamond dust if they needed
Yeah.
it.
But,
We did the bathrooms, but not anything to do with the Little League itself. But he did this, I think he formed a new committee
he did.
without us knowing about it. And it's called the Little League Committee. And so far he's bought, correct me if I'm wrong, a water heater for the pavilion
Yeah.
thing, the place that they
Concession.
sell. Some Stonecrete work done to make better pathways, which is not a big deal. But it's
Same-
like it's all happening and we don't have a clue.
We found out about it after the fact is what it was.
Okay,
Things were done and then he was like, well, hey, guess what we did?
yeah, and I don't like that.
We want to be able to approve it or turn it down, you know, based on our budget, and the money that we have and how we're trying to manage it, and also our set of priorities. I think that we wanna know this in advance.
Well, and I would also like to know if we get involved with another group, any other group,
Right.
we have a right to see what they have. To see if they really need us to help supplement what they're doing, or if they have the money and they just don't wanna spend it yet. You know, it's,
Because then how are you
I'd
gonna-
like to know that stuff.
Right, how are you
ahead
gonna
of
pick
time.
and choose between one private group and another?
We
you know?
can't.
And, you know, it's not fair for us to aid one private group and then not another one, you know, I mean, so we need to stay away from private groups as much as we can. That's my
Well,
thinking.
the same with the farmer's market. We were gonna get it going for a few years, and it kept going and going and going, and finally, someone was hired. And we really don't know if we make money on that, or what is spent out of that, or,
Well, we don't make money off of it.
I didn't
It's the same thing
think
in the
so.
budget every year, we
Yeah.
don't make anything off of it.
We can't
But a
turn
lot of
everything down
towns-
so there's nothing in
A
our
lot of,
town.
a lot,
I know.
We gotta take care of the
a lot
parks.
of towns,
Everybody's got a farmer's market. If we gotta put a couple bucks in there, what does she get, $50 a day
I don't know.
for that, something like that? Is
I
what we
don't
were
know,
told,
I don't
50
even know who
bucks.
she is.
I don't know who she is either,
Yeah.
but it's like she gets 50 bucks, and if we start taking away, people aren't gonna come here and live.
I think they should have a
If you go
farmer's
to
market.
Richland Township Park out there, it's absolutely gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, our parks are shabby alongside of that one. People go out there for picnics instead of being here. We've got to take care of our town. Everybody's got a farmer's market.
A lot of
Everybody's
towns,
got nice parks.
We have nice parks.
we do.
Well,
Right,
compared
right out
compared
the
to the
window.
other parks, ours is on the bottom of the list.
It is.
Compared, because the park in Richland is amazing.
Yes, it is.
It's
Yes, it is.
beautiful
It is.
out
Who
there.
pays for it, do you know?
The township,
Do you know that for sure?
yeah.
All the stuff.
My
that
parents
they
live out in
run-
Richland.
Well, I know, but all of the things inside are run by the township?
Pretty much everything that's in the township is, yes.
I don't know who pays for or anything.
They
Yeah,
have
no,
an
I know
actual
it's
the park
great looking.
itself inside of Richland has, because my brothers used to work there. They have a building inside the park that has everything that they need, and it's a 9 to 5 job every day. They're out there, they're cleaning the parks every day. They're doing everything out there, and the parks are gorgeous. They're beautiful.
I don't want our town to be less than. I want people to come here because they want to. Oh, that's a really nice park. Let's go over there and have a picnic. Let's go, we can play some ball on the diamonds. You know, that's my thought, is that let's make things nice in this town.
I was looking at it totally different. I know a few towns or villages have a farmer's market, and they say, okay, you can use our park, and then they let that group do their work. I just think our office girls, and I don't know what a manager does, I think they have a lot to do, and they have other things that they can do, where they can have this committee, you do your own thing, but go ahead and use our park. I want a farmer's market too, but I don't know how much time that would take, Jenny, because does Marguerite do that, all that farmer's market?
She takes
take,
the money at the window, but
yeah.
it's up to me to do all the reporting, cause we accept the WIC coupons and the SNAP double up food bucks. And last year, from what I've seen, Matt was there pretty much every Tuesday from 3 to 7.
Yeah,
And Shelley Elliott, who was hired for the market manager, she was there also.
I just think to have a manager there that whole day, and then your hours of work and Marguerite's hours of work could be better spent. My feeling, I don't know how other people feel. And I think that committee could handle doing that on their own. And yes, I do
We must make
think.
a little of that because we charge for spaces.
We don't charge for spaces, they charge for spaces.
Yes, and they pay the lady that runs it. We don't pay
Yeah,
the
no,
lady that runs it.
it never shows up in our books that we make anything off of it.
Okay, so then the lady that runs it gets $50 a day, the Tuesday out there from whatever to whatever. That comes out of theirs, we don't pay her. No, so
I don't
the
think we
farmer's
pay her.
market is pretty much
We pay
taken
her?
care of.
Every Tuesday I cut a check for
We
$50
pay
for
her.
her.
We pay her?
Yep. So
Why
what,
doesn't the market pay her?
we basically are the market. So when.
So we get the money in
Yep.
from the tables or whatever we got,
Correct.
and then we give her $50 of it.
Correct, yep.
Do we get over $50 for tables and such?
Just depends on who shows up. A couple of people will pay annually for their spot up front.
Uh-huh.
And then other people just kind of, as they show up, will pay the $10. Matt was talking about at the committee, maybe raising it to more than $10, but the few people that were at the committee, are also vendors. Shelley was one of them and John Dusak, and they didn't think people would pay more than $10 for a spot. So some
I
days,
know.
sometimes it does pay for itself. Other
know.
times it doesn't, but, and two, if you have a village employee, they're past 5 o'clock, there's like your overtime unless they're gonna volunteer, and so it
So
doesn't
can-
necessarily know if it pays for itself, plus there's the card processing fee that we sometimes get reimbursed, but it's kinda
Is there a way you can
Millie.
figure that out and just show us what we paid out and what we brought in
I can,
for the year?
yep, I can try to
Just so
get all
I
that
mean, that
stuff for
would-
you.
We've
Well,
asked for it over and over
Yeah,
and over.
that would
I've
just
asked
cover, I
100
mean, it won't
times
tell us
now.
100%, but yeah.
I'm sure, I'm sure it's negative, but it's not huge,
Yeah.
but.
No,
Yeah.
it's just the idea of taking their precious time and when they.
But I
could be
do think that
doing-
we gotta consider, I don't want us to run it. I mean, I don't want us to,
It's not a
That's something-
manager's position.
yeah, I don't want a manager there
And to
running
spend a
it,
whole
but
day there.
we do get a
That's why the
residual
woman
off
was
that
hired.
when
She's
they
supposed to be
stop at the
there.
restaurant, they purchase the gas, they go to the freezer.
Yeah,
There is a
that's good. I
benefit,
mean, it's-
yeah.
Well, and if there's
So-
really produce there, it's a good
Yeah.
thing.
So I don't mind if we have to supplement. I mean,
And I
I see
think-
that as a positive.
I think the office has to handle the
The money.
money in and the cards. I don't think you can just have a volunteer group do it, cause that's in that federal or state stuff, those cards.
We have to be responsible for doing all the reporting and stuff like that. So what
Yeah,
Shelley
I-
does is she would take the tickets and the tokens and stuff like that, and then we have to submit to the state for reimbursement for those.
Isn't it like a 2-for-1 thing? Don't they pay $1 and get $2 or something?
Yep,
like
and they
that?
can use that on produce, and then there's like the WIC coupons or Senior Project Fresh coupons, and what we were doing was reimbursing the vendors
Vendors.
that same day, but I said it's too hard because it doesn't necessarily show a good in out, so we were going to do it this year if the farmer's market was still gonna go on, the vendors were gonna have to wait for that reimbursement for our next check run, so that way we can show it coming in and showing going out, so,
Yeah.
cause Shelley would take their $10, but then let's say she has $20 worth of coupons, she would have them sign a form and give them that, so it was kinda hard to show the cash coming in, the cash going out, and that was
Was that
one of my
our first
complaints.
year of doing that last year, Jenny? 'Cause
that
when-
I
Because in the beginning, there was none of that.
I think
It was
Deanna and Matt had
just
just kind of
cash.
started getting the WIC coupons and that to get us signed up, to
Took
try to
them a
get more
couple
people
years
to come
get
in.
it.
Yeah,
Took them a couple years to put
They
that
didn't, they
together.
had to have they had to show how many people, there was a lot of hoops to be able to do the WIC and all that, and be
Yep.
certified.
Yeah, and I had to sit through a couple webinars and stuff like
Yeah.
that, and I have to get all that
took a
information to
while.
Shelley to take a look at.
Okay.
I think I agree with Jim, I think we'd like to see the financial statements on that.
Yep.
We really kinda are looking for, do you wanna keep it going this year or not?
Yeah.
And I know you don't wanna, you probably wanna see the financials, but taxes go out next week and we wanna put a flyer in there.
I would do
If
it
we're
this
gonna
year, and
do
if
it.
it doesn't, I mean, it hasn't hurt
It's
us.
already been publicized
Yeah.
for this
That's-
year, so I think we have to, I think we're in a place
Yeah,
where we
I
have,
would,
that's my
I would like
thought.
to
Well-
continue it,
My thought is if we don't continue it, then it's gone.
Right.
right.
You're not gonna get it back.
Right.
I don't have a problem with continuing it, and I don't have a problem knowing that you'll never go over there, so.
I'm not gonna be there, I guarantee you. That's not my thing.
So, this Shelley person, I hope she learned enough last year that she knows what she's doing.
Yep.
'Cause I really don't wanna go over there
No,
and sit in the heat. I
No.
don't do well
no,
outside
and
in the
then
heat,
and
and
we
I'm
don't want
not
you
looking
over
forward to
there.
that.
No.
It'd be
Yeah,
a
how
waste
much
of your time,
electricity is
Jen.
used over there? You know, how much?
Oh, I bet hardly nothing.
You don't think there's?
I don't think a whole lot.
There's just some extension cords run to a couple of things.
Yep.
Most vendors don't have electricity.
Mm-mm.
No.
They
it's
just have it
usually
on
in
a
the,
table.
Gazebo where
Yeah,
there's
or on a
music and
table
stuff
that
like
they've
that.
got set up, they have
And
their own
Or
there's,
the,
stands.
yeah,
Mo-
Diana makes
motorhome.
popcorn, you know.
Yeah.
The
Diana,
motorhome there,
what
but
her
they
name
use
is.
Yeah.
electricity.
There are also some talk about a Saturday. You wanna just leave it like it is and run it a
If-
year and see how it comes out?
It would, I would say that that would have to be up to that committee. I mean, if they could fit it in and get a couple Saturdays and get it to work, that's,
I don't know, changing
really
is
don't
just as
care.
bad as canceling it,
yeah.
you know? Um, They moved it back. It used to start earlier, didn't it, in the day?
Yes.
Yeah. and-
Yeah,
And
I
now
think-
they're like a 3 to 7 or something.
I think their thought was to try to get more people like
Coming
getting
in.
out of work and that
Yeah.
kind of stuff, but they still wanted to have it early enough for those that didn't work, that wanted to get up there and get their stuff done, you know,
Okay.
and then get back home and stuff like that. So I think they were trying to accommodate everybody. And the committee's thought about the Saturday was they wanted to try to make it bigger and get more people come.
Right.
But then there's all, you have to do all this planning and try to get all this stuff going, and it's just, a lot of the committee members dropped out. So there's basically, there was Shelley and myself and Matt at the last meeting, so there wasn't even a quorum.
Okay.
John Dusek wasn't able to make it to the meeting. We had 3 people resign from the committee. We did have somebody that said that she'd like to be involved. But it's like, there's not a
Well,
whole lot
What do
of,
you think? You're with them more than, we've never been with them, so
right.
do you
It
think it's
was-
worth having again this year? And
I think
I
maybe
know that's a
on
big
the
question.
the Tuesdays, it's a good thing to have a farmer's market. I like the farmer's market, but I'm not sure how, like, it's
Participation.
profitable. And that, on that aspect, I think it's a good thing to have, but I don't think it will ever be like how the Midland one is.
It's
Well,
not
yeah,
gonna be like
right.
Midland or Owasso,
Yeah.
it's
Well,
just
or
gonna be a
even
filler.
Hemlock
Yeah.
has a great
It's just
one.
gonna be
They
a
do
filler.
have a good one.
But, I don't think we were ever looking to make money off of it.
Mhm.
I just don't want it to cost a lot of money.
Right,
Yeah.
Because the vendors obviously are making money or they wouldn't come back,
right.
so.
I don't care what day we do it, but I like that it starts in later. It used to start in May and no one was in that park.
Right.
There were no vegetables yet.
Right, I think that's when they had pushed it back from talking to people, when I was just a shopper, that it was, they waited till the produce was kind of coming in.
Yeah.
And this year, what it's gonna, you know, what kind of vegetables are gonna be available. this
Right.
year,
Yeah,
you
I know.
it's gonna be-
IOUs.
Float them in.
Yeah. So what is the consensus on the farmer's market? Go ahead.
I'd like to keep
I
it.
like it.
Yeah, I'd
I
like
like
to,
keep
I'd
it
like
on
to give it another
Tuesdays.
year.
Well, I think,
Yeah.
try it another year on Tuesday. If it don't work, just drop the whole thing.
Well, if it doesn't work, they're the vendors, then I think they need to regroup. Maybe we'll discuss it at that point and see if they wanna change it to a Saturday.
Another
Then,
thing, it might,
they're the ones that are doing it.
during the day, you got a lot of traffic downtown, maybe it needs to be in a downtown parking lot.
Oh, instead of out in the,
Some, you know, I'm
Definitely,
not saying this year, but if
yeah,
it doesn't take off, maybe that's.
like down in front of Frank's or,
oh yeah, he loves that. We tried that before.
That parking lot has potholes
That doesn't
3
go
foot
well.
deep.
No, I wouldn't put it in Frank's. but
No,
I-
no.
I'm thinking the one,
behind the library.
yeah,
Oh,
That's
behind the
nice
library would
parking
be.
lot.
Yeah, and
there's
there's
no
really
shade.
nobody.
But nobody knows it would be back there, you'd have to know it's back there,
Yeah.
that's not easy.
yeah, you're not gonna get the 52 traffic,
No.
but you're gonna get the downtown traffic.
put it in front of the bank.
could be down by the river where we're supposed to put those new lights up,
Yeah,
by Bears,
In that back parking lot,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
that extra parking.
she'd probably like that.
She probably would like that.
Yeah, she'd probably like
Yeah.
that.
But anyhow, you guys would think about
Okay.
that after
Yeah,
this year.
I don't wanna
After
discuss
you're
letting
long
it go,
gone?
I think there's other options, yeah.
Well, let's just go ahead with the way it
Yeah.
is, and, I mean, you'll know the first week if it's gonna work at all, if they're gonna show up, if, what's gonna happen.
Well, it's already out there on the website and everything, so I don't
Well,
think we
yeah.
can just pull it off, you know, I think
And,
that's a good thing.
and like I said, we're gonna send taxes out next week, I think, so.
Okay. we
She
put
picked
it
them up
in there.
today, so.
Okay. What else do you have, Dennis? I mean, that's what I wrote down. Did you write down something, Jim?
No, I'm just taking
I had
notes
a-
for the
Okay.
next meeting right
Oh.
now.
What'd you
I
have?
had, well, this is backing up.
Oh.
The parking lot cleanup and take the bad soil away. Are we getting a different bid than to, tar a new parking lot? Is that
I didn't know we were.
We were gonna do that after.
Yeah,
after?
it's gonna be two separate, but we
It's
can't do
gonna be-
anything with that one until we know exactly
Where it's gonna start.
where we're
and
gonna be
stop,
at
yeah.
after the,
Okay,
after the.
so we don't have
Yeah.
to worry about that right
No.
now?
Not yet, but hopefully this year yet. I mean, I hope they
Yeah.
get done with it so we can. take this
Okay,
out
I didn't
too.
know if that.
Cause it's gonna have to settle.
Yeah, it
I mean,
was-
he said it's not just rip it out and then put the other one back in and you're done. There's a lot more to it. So he said he didn't wanna,
No, I thought they did rip it out and put it back in, and then he
No,
was gonna
they-
go from
Well,
there to
he said
here.
how long
Yeah,
though?
but-
I didn't think it was that
The
long.
ground has to settle.
yeah, he said
before they can
it's
do
not
it.
gonna be the next day where you put a blacktop.
Right.
He says
No,
he's gotta
but-
let that gravel set or whatever they're putting back in. So he wanted to separate the bids so that it's two separate companies doing two separate things,
But
not a
it
package deal.
Doesn't have to be two separate companies. but
Well, not a
it's two
package
separate
deal.
projects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we don't need to worry about
We
that.
So we
have
need to
to
look
do
at
this,
this,
yeah.
okay.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll know the size of it fairly soon.
Mm-hmm, how
Then
far
we
they
can-
have to dig.
I was
Um,
thinking that we were out in the parking lot the other day, and I said I could take my little gardening trowel and pick up pieces of, you know, blacktop out there and be down in soil. It is in extremely bad shape.
It is.
It is very bad shape.
I think we got, and I don't know exact numbers, but about 38,000 left of the grant. And the low bid came in at 75,
So we're gonna owe around 40,000.
but we also, I don't know what we owe AKT Peerless yet.
But we had
There'll be
budgeted
some
for that,
expenses
but-
on that.
Yeah,
And he's got two contingencies in there if they happen to need to de-water, which I don't think they will here. Cause I don't think they're gonna have to go that deep. Maybe, I don't know for
I
sure.
don't know.
And then if it starts washing out from under the building, they'd have to put pilings in. Those aren't part of that bid. Those would be extra.
Okay.
But, so we'll just have to watch and see on those, how it comes out. And then we got, what, 100 set aside,
Mhm.
I think.
We
So we
did.
should be okay, but we'll know soon.
Be nice to get that going.
I have a question here before we get into this other stuff. We need an update on our lawsuit. We've not been updated on whatever is going on that. Now, I don't know how we're gonna handle that.
Well, that would have to be closed session, and I don't have a thing on it right now, so maybe I can by the next meeting, I don't know.
Okay, do you have her contact information and everything?
No. That's a new one, out of all these other things I got, but I haven't,
Jenny, do you have that? All right.
I'll get it to you.
okay.
Okay.
So I heard a little bit about it, and if.
I was
what-
gonna say, I can tell what I know about it. I just called her and told her that Matt Lane had resigned. And she said, well, that's good to know, but I'll need a representative from the village that I can deal with that would, be available for any other, like depositions or trials or anything. And I said, well, I've got just the person for that. And that would be you.
Oh, if
You
looks could
understand
kill.
legalese. We do have a difference of opinion on this.
Thanks, Diana.
Yeah, I know.
Thanks for volunteering.
Yeah, I mean, I just think you would be the best person to handle
Did you
that.
talk to Audrey?
She's talked to Audrey before.
I have talked to Audrey before, yeah.
Audrey and I are close, so.
Pardon
Yeah,
me?
he
I
knows
do know
Audrey
her
from
well.
another thing.
I can be our contact person if that would make
Yeah.
everybody.
That would be,
Because I don't know if you're gonna be here long enough to be a contact person. You
Well,
don't
that-
wanna be a contact person.
no, cause it won't ever settle that quick.
No.
And I don't know anything about it, but typically I just settled one with her, she was on my side.
So it-
And that's been 5 years ago it started, so
Okay.
they take time. When did this one start? Long time ago?
Oh, shoot.
Year and a half?
2 years ago?
Yeah, 2 years ago.
2
Oh,
years?
so it's,
Yeah, 3 years is not unusual, I know.
I have a meeting with the attorney in the morning, and I don't know, is that on that?
No,
Doesn't
Gary,
really-
Gary's not in on that.
Oh, that's just
You're
Audrey.
meeting with Gary, right?
Well, I'm meeting with Gary, but it's a Freedom of Information Act request, and it may be from that.
Oh, okay, gotcha, gotcha.
So-
Okay,
So it may have to get turned over to Audrey then,
Yeah.
I don't know
okay.
for sure what he's coming for, but
Well, is everybody comfortable with me calling her then and
Do
telling
do
her
you
I'm
think
going
we
to
should
take
make her
contact?
the person?
I am
Yes.
perfectly fine.
I
with
think,
that.
I
Make
think
a
you ought to
motion
have a
for that?
motion and then send a letter to her,
Okay,
as well as your
I'll,
call.
I'll ask for a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Second,
I'll support.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I abstain.
There's no financial gain for you, so you
No,
could
I
vote.
All against,
Huh?
all
I
against.
can't be against
Motion
because I always
passed.
think that we have to do something here, okay, all right.
That was the other thing that I had on my
The downtown parking lot and streets, 2 blocks, I guess. You
The
applied,
Boulevard?
yeah, you applied for a grant last year through Spicer, and it didn't get awarded.
Okay, so
I
we
don't know
didn't
If you
get.
knew that or not.
Yes,
We-
we did.
Did we know
Yeah,
it?
we knew it, that it was
Okay.
turned down. And
Um,
that's not a bad thing at this point.
No,
right now.
I'm fine with that right now.
But I didn't know if you wanted to pursue other grants or resubmit that grant, or if you wanna just,
Well, I think we should pursue, we don't have to take the grant if we get it, but I think we should pursue any
Because it wasn't
grants.
just through the DDA,
Yeah,
yeah.
That same grant.
and just see what there is out there, but it
that
doesn't
same-
mean that
Yeah,
we're gonna,
but that same grant will, if written differently, pay for street repairs too, which we do
Yeah.
need a whole bunch of them,
Right.
right? So I mean, in terms of when you look at priorities, what's more important? I mean, I don't like that parking downtown either, I really don't, big time. But I think that our priorities ought to be, huh?
one of your
Well,
bad
I-
moves?
But she knows I don't like it, that'd be another difference. But I do think we need to prioritize it, and I think right now we have our regular streets that we need to
Yes.
take care of. So I think that it would be, if we're going to reapply for that grant, I think it should be done from the standpoint of some street repair. That's
Okay.
just my thinking.
Was it actually designed how it was gonna be fixed when they applied?
I think so, but we didn't see it.
We didn't see the plans, no.
yeah.
But what you really need to find out is, what are they willing to give you the money for, and then you ask for that. Cause sometimes they're not willing to fix streets, but they'll put in a new boulevard.
Well-
I mean,
That
But-
particular
Yeah.
grant was for streets.
That particular grant
Was for
would
streets?
do for
Yeah.
streets, yes.
And that's, I think, gonna be out there again
Next year, again.
next year, not for 20, but for 21. But there's also a rubber tire grant out there. Where they make the blacktop with
Oh,
rubber tires.
yep. I did see that
And
one.
that one might qualify.
that's what that guy north of town does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I seen
District.
that one, I read on that.
I mean, Frankenmuth used it 2 or 3 times, and Lapierre's used it 3 times, Fios used it, and they seem to be holding up. I forget how much the grant is.
But he was,
50% of the material, maybe, or
Okay.
something.
Well, we've got
But
a
that's-
lot of money started for
That's out
materials
in
and
the,
stuff.
comes out in the fall, so it would for sure be 20 before the construction was, and maybe even 21 if you got awarded it, depending on when they award them, but that's the
Is it for
2
any
that I
kind of
know of.
Street repaving,
Huh?
any street repaving?
That could be any street, the rubber one,
Cause we need work on it.
but I really don't know what you wanna do downtown either, cause I assume you don't wanna move the clock.
Well, right
Well,
now, if
yeah.
it's that particular grant went down, I don't think at this point we wanna discuss, well, anything that we wanna do we, or
No,
not?
I'm thinking more in terms of how do we redo the street under the water line with the not doing.
Yeah,
Like Fulton and,
Like
Right.
Fulton and
okay.
Hosmer, and
Yep.
that would be good if we could get that at 50%, you know, if somebody
Yeah.
else could pay half of it.
Because we do have you know, our weather has been just terrible, as everybody knows right
It
now,
really
so I think
shows, yeah.
the streets are just worse than usual, so at least I think we need to pay attention to our streets that we travel on as opposed to.
but one other thing
switching
that we
parking.
were looking at with Matt, we had, the last meeting I mentioned it, was that the DNR had published a bunch of stuff there, putting out a lot more grants according to what they said. And I wanted Matt to look into them because we wanted a lot of stuff down by the waterfowl park, you know, maybe ramps, boat launches, accessibility,
Well, I
dock
tell
stuff.
you, we went down the
and,
river
uh,
Sunday and we do need another boat launch.
Yeah.
So I was
Just
actually
add some
looking
detail
about
on
that
it.
boat launch that we were talking about doing a handicap one.
Yeah.
So in Lumberjack Park, if you extended the parking lot where it is right now, the boat launch that's there right now, if you extended that parking lot in more, you could still keep the play area there, but then you could add that handicap boat launch in there, which would be something you'd pull out every year.
Right,
But that, because isn't this one down here, that's DNR owned boat
Yep.
launch. So then if we put that one in Lumberjack, that would be our boat launch,
yeah.
which would be really nice. I really like the idea of having a handicap boat launch in there.
Yeah, but the thing is that I was hoping is that if the DNR is really looking to help out in, smaller, you know, a lot of these little projects, maybe we could have them pay for some of that too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if,
Do you have a current approved grant through or park plan through the state?
Yes.
do we?
Yeah, we have a
Yeah.
park plan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Current. I think we did it last year.
Yeah,
I think we have to get DNR approval to put that down on the river anyway, don't we?
Well, you
Well,
can't do anything without a park plan that mentions it, so it better be in
Okay.
there. Is it in there?
I
I'd
found
have to
one.
look at.
Diane
yeah.
was on the park committee, that's why I'm looking at her.
I'd have to look.
We
again
did
for
have
this.
a fishing, handicap fishing
Yes.
platform on,
Yes,
in there
that
all the
was one
time,
of the,
but I don't know about a boat
goals.
launch.
well, that accessibility one just popped up two years ago.
Okay.
I think that's when we started talking about it, 3 years ago.
We talked about how it would be nice to be able to use that river more, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
it's just, you know,
Right now, it's nice and high.
well,
It
yeah,
is. Is it ever?
that's a different situation,
Yeah.
but yeah, it would be nice, you know.
So what do you want him to do with that?
I was just looking for.
Or wait till we get the new manager and,
Yeah, but
Well,
we
the-
wanna look at some
The
of the grants
grants
and see what's out
have to
there.
go in by April 1st each year.
okay,
Then they're awarded in kind of the fall, and then you do the work the next year.
okay. April 1st, so
April
if we didn't get a manager until October, that's really pushing that person to get a budget out and, well, they should be able to do that.
Yeah, that shouldn't be that bad.
If you get an experienced one, they can.
If we get a good one, he should be able to do that easy by April 1st.
And he's got great help in the office.
Jenny will hardly have to do anything.
I wrote the last grant for the DNR. That was hard. But they came out and did Matt tell you, they did come out and take a look at our park. Lindsay Ross from the DNR, came and looked at the site that he had proposed for the accessible, handicap spots. So they were still then gonna go back and take a look at the, at all of our stuff. So it was just kind of part of the process.
So it's
Okay.
still in motion.
It's still in motion, yep.
See?
Oh, okay.
Good.
Yep, so yeah, we had that submitted
Yeah.
by the end of March, and then it takes a while, so she said they look through, and I think they try to help you, you know, with things that maybe are a little bit weak, they give you suggestions, and then it's like October-ish, we might know.
Yeah, yeah, I got to know those housing ones well enough where they actually corrected them with a red pen and sent them back to me to redo so that we could get the money.
Yeah.
I mean, if you know them well enough, they can be very helpful, so,
I think if you have a valuable project, I mean, it makes
Mhm.
a difference.
Well,
if it's
Don't be afraid to use Rob Eggers at Spicer's a little bit,
Yeah.
because he gets about 100% every year.
okay.
Yeah, 13 out of 13 last year, I think. But he knows what's a fund, what's a won't fund,
Yeah.
and he'll tell you, don't even apply for that, you're
Yeah.
not gonna get it.
Yep, they're not giving out money for that, so that's how they work.
And that changes from year to year. Sometimes they want water stuff and sometimes they want tree
Sometimes they wanna
stuff
give
and
away
Trails,
Yeah.
yeah, I know,
It's just,
yeah.
it'd be nice if they'd stay on the same thing, but they don't always do it.
okay, anybody else on the council have anything they wrote down that they wanna ask questions on?
I don't have
All
anything
mine
else.
have been answered so
Okay.
far.
Hey,
I
I'm
know
not
we have a
done yet,
longer
I'm ready to go.
Okay, yeah.
Goodrich Building,
Okay,
we have a problem with the air conditioning in the back unit, which is chiropractor, help me.
it is, there's a chiropractor. in there.
Chiropractor.
Yep,
Yeah.
she has 2 units, actually. She's running 2, I think.
And she's not happy being
Warm?
warm all the time. And we
Is
got
that
a
DDA
bid
project?
from, again, this was done before I got here,
Yep.
but $5,192 to put air conditioning in there.
Through who?
Does the DDA know about that?
I don't know.
I do not believe so. Matt had met with, GW Heating, and he had somebody from the, DPW meet over there and they got that, but there has not been a DDA meeting. I don't
Okay,
remember the
we
last
just got
time, so
one bid?
he just got the one, cause
You
they
know?
were the one that did the
I
other.
knew it was put out to bid, is this for the entire building,
No,
just for
For the
that,
back.
just for that unit?
It's a standalone unit.
we did last year, they did air for the whole building. And it's doing good with everything but the back part.
Okay,
And it'll
I
get
know.
into 80 degrees back there,
Yeah.
it's super hot.
yeah, it does, I know.
Okay, this brings up a question on the committees and stuff. Somebody had said that you were going to send a letter to all the committees and say that there would not be any committee meetings while he's in interim, right?
I did.
Marguerite mailed that out,
Yeah,
yep.
I
I
had
didn't get a
Margaret.
letter, and I'm on the planning commission. Is there some reason I didn't get that?
I can
You
check with
should've.
Marguerite
I
on
didn't.
tomorrow, she had mailed those out, was it last Friday? I believe?
I think it was. I just asked her to tell everybody, we're just gonna lay low unless something is needed.
Yeah,
And
she
then-
had typed up
I
a
know
letter and
about
mailed it out.
That's why I'm saying you've sent a letter out to everybody, but that is a DDA project. Doesn't that have to be approved by the DDA first before it comes to us for the air conditioner?
That's, I don't know, what do you think? See, actually, the
I don't know how you've been
DDA,
working.
DDA is our money, but Matt didn't set it up that way. He let them go off and do things they wanted, and then would just report back to us what they did. And I think it would be nice to run that by them, but when do they meet? The first,
It's the first Friday of
Friday.
the month if there's a meeting and I don't.
that's gonna be the day after the 4th of July.
Yeah.
That's not very good.
I think it needs to be done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it needs to be
It
fixed.
does need to be
It's,
fixed.
yeah, it's miserable in there.
I
Yes,
think to the-
I don't have a problem with approving it and just doing it because we make, that's where the
Right.
DDA makes its money, it's off that building.
Right.
So they
I
need to
think they
keep
pay almost
them in there.
$1,000 a month, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna get it back in 5 months anyway.
So, yeah, so
So-
if we're not in trouble with the DDA, I would be in favor of it. That's just my only issue, is, about how and when do you involve them?
They have $285,000.
Right, so there's.
So they can spend 5 on an air conditioner.
We could do a phone call. Couldn't we?
Oh, like,
The
of
DDA?
Yeah,
of the DDA.
just to let them know that
Let them know that,
there's a concern and we got a price and.
and
Good, okay.
there's a slow up and we need to get it done.
Yep.
And go ahead and.
Cause
do
here
it.
comes July, and that's gonna be hot,
Yeah.
so,
And it was miserable
Starting this
there back
week,
in
so-
May.
So do we need to get
Okay.
a motion on that then?
yeah, I'll ask for
Because
a
it's-
motion.
Yeah. I'll make the motion that we contact the DDA and,
Oh, just tell them that we approved that.
yeah, and that we're approving the spending, the air conditioning.
Or we could do a memo send out to them.
Yeah, I'll
Either
second
one.
Jim's
Yeah,
motion.
that worked too.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
How soon before they can get moving, get that going? Does it
Well,
say?
It doesn't say, but
Okay.
I'll let them know. Don's off. Don's brother passed away, so he's off this week, so.
Okay.
Is he coming back Friday?
He was here today, he'll be here tomorrow, he's gonna be gone Friday, so he took off Monday,
So-
Tuesday, and Friday.
So I'll see him tomorrow now. Maybe you can call him and get him on it.
Yeah,
If you can, I will.
I was gonna say Dennis, he'll get it.
yeah,
He's good at that.
good.
Next,
Parking lot lighting, I don't know what that's about, but I saw bits and pieces in some minutes, so. Is there anything I need to worry
It's
about?
lighting the parking lot next to Sue Bear's laundromat. That is parking for the village. Remember, we were gonna put
The
one light up
overflow?
Yep.
there? The overflow parking for that parking lot?
by the
I don't know
laundromat.
how, I don't know
Is that a
what's
DDA thing
happened.
too,
It would be a DDA thing,
or could be?
but I think, I thought Matt was gonna contact consumers, was it?
Mhm.
And just order a new light.
Yeah, we want the same light,
Yeah, Sue has.
yes.
Well, Sue's got one there now.
Sue's got one
Yeah,
at the
she's
other
got it.
end pointing this way, and we
Yeah.
want it this end pointing this way.
Same light that she
That is
has.
parking for the village there.
It is parking for the village. But it's within the DDA,
Right.
yeah. So we'd let the DDA pay for it.
Make a motion and I'll see if I can get one.
Okay, do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Support?
I'll support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Next item is kinda informational, but we have 2 issues on lead and copper that are coming up. We have to do sampling of our water system for lead and copper between June 1st and September. And then by the end of the year, December 31st, we have to have a survey done of all lead and copper service potential in the community. So I don't want any action, but I'm gonna be coming at you with some stuff on that.
We knew that was
Aware of
coming.
Matt mentioned that.
Yeah, we've known that was coming for a while.
We're running out of time.
Okay.
The clock's moving.
Yeah, well, we were hoping, there was a lawsuit that we were hoping we're gonna,
I think the
nullify all
lawsuit's
of
still out there about
it is, but the
replacing
step that,
lines,
there was a
but-
step that we were hoping we're gonna eliminate it, and we didn't win on that, so.
Well, I think if we get by the January 1st deadline, there's a lot of communities suing the DEQ,
Yeah,
and I think the cities are gonna win.
yeah.
Especially the part running onto private people's
Right.
property and all that kind of stuff. I just can't see any judge not siding with the cities on that, but who knows? And the other item is, we're in non-compliance with our Act 51 report for non-transportation issues in this village. We have to have a 3-year plan into them. I forgot the date, but it's fairly soon, of what we're gonna do to develop non-transportation, which is sidewalks, bike paths, those kind of things. So I'll see if I can get a plan put together of some kind. I may have to use Spicer, cause I assume they're gonna want a blueprint sealed. But we'll see.
With the report, you mean?
But I'll keep you posted on that, but, what I really want to tell you is, we can do this 3-year plan and start doing it, but they use a 10-year rolling on your spending. Well, if you haven't spent anything in 10 years, every year it's gonna come off, so it's not something you can just do fix once and you're gonna have to keep spending there. You're gonna get
On
non-compliance
sidewalks
again.
and,
And they're threatening to withhold our funds if we don't get it done, so
okay.
Yeah,
Guess we better get it done.
we'll see what we can do.
So what are you proposing you're gonna do with that?
I'm gonna work on it, I haven't got deep into it, other than I saw there's deadlines there, where they're gonna
Okay.
cut our funding, so I'll meet those deadlines somehow.
When are the deadlines?
I believe it was September,
Uh,
you remember?
We got the
Maybe it was
original.
longer, I can't remember for sure.
I
but-
can't remember, I know.
It was in December, they warned us, so a lot of time has gone by, so there's not a lot of time left, but.
Okay, when, oh, that was a while ago though, when they lined that,
Did we talk
Walnut
about by the
Street.
school, yeah, by the school? Or was that a different
We talked
program?
about the school, that has come up, Matt was supposed to have contacted Mike Decker up at the school, superintendent of the school. There is a grant, and I think it's a federal grant, it's called a safe.
Safe routes to school.
Say, yeah, and, to work on, sidewalks in that, you know, down on Walnut. But, then we never did hear anything back on that, that was, you know, so, but, you know, Matt had told us that the process had to begin with Decker and the school board.
Yes,
So-
it does.
But anyway, so that was
So
a
you want
different
that-
thing, though, that wasn't.
Maybe
the-
you could talk to
He
him,
Wasn't it, they were,
to Decker, well,
They're
Decker never
combining 'em?
returned, he never returned the
Yeah.
emails.
But, that it just, it's, you know, it's a plain all on its own, nothing, you know, nothing through the state.
alright.
Have you worked with one of those before?
Yeah.
How did it go? Did it work well, or?
Yeah, Cass City, we did one and, we lit that one, put street lighting on it, and it was kinda cross-country to get to the school. Any place that did not have good lighting on the street, we put street lighting in, so they were protected.
How much did
I
they
wanna
pay?
say, is it 90%? I can't remember for sure.
They give you 90%?
I'm trying to think, Rob Eggers is the one that handles all that stuff,
I mean,
I'll
that
have
would
to
be
ask
good,
him.
wouldn't it?
That would be
90%.
great.
Yeah, that road, that needs.
There's no sidewalk on it now?
No, it's got a line drawn on it,
It's like a.
On the road?
on the
Yeah.
road. And then we redrew the center line and moved it over, but now it's also faded. You can't tell which one is the real center line.
Yeah.
And you can barely see the walking lane.
Well, that'll be painted next week, or the week
Okay.
after, but.
Well, you said you were gonna have them painting lines.
And the kids walk down the road anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Doesn't
that's
matter what-
irrelevant.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I would like to
That
learn more
might
about that,
qualify.
Brandon. If you could talk with Mike
Uh,
Decker, maybe you could,
Let me talk with Rob first and then.
Okay.
He's probably scared he's gonna have to pay it, but.
I'm
I'm-
not sure he was ever I'm not sure he was contacted.
Well, he might've got an email.
Yeah.
I'm old school and
I
I'm
know
not,
you are.
I'm not against technology, but I can tell you that emails sometimes don't get answered.
No, they don't.
This cleanup, 2 phone calls that I had done. And there's, I don't know how many emails, piles of them in there, but nobody answers them, so. You call and talk to somebody and you get something done,
Yes,
so.
or sometimes go see them, you know.
well, thank
Get in
you.
the car.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. I
I
knew
mean,
you could fix that one.
That works too.
Email's fine and the computers are fine and they have their place,
In their
but you
place.
gotta use your phone and sometimes you gotta use verbal eye contact, verbal and eye contact to
Verbal
make things
eye
happen.
Yep.
That's also
She
what
used
we
verbal
need.
on me yesterday, so.
Who? Not me, I'm sure.
Well, that didn't
That's
sound
all I
good.
have tonight,
Okay,
Okay, good.
good.
I think.
Does anybody else have anything else?
No, I think that's a good,
You've done a lot.
You
start
beat
right
up.
there.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
glad
Is
that
there
you're
any more,
here, Dennis,
public
thank you.
comment? This is the time, okay.
I think that's a good idea on that sidewalk on Walnut Street, that couple blocks there. We're spending money on a lot of crazy stuff, thousands of dollars. And I think a couple $1,000, one way or another, either grant or on that, Young Street program or budget in, whether the kids use that sidewalk or not, that's beside the point.
We've made it, give them the opportunity.
There needs to be a sidewalk, couple of blocks that are missing. Mainly because Cornford didn't want a sidewalk in his front yard, so everything was shot out.
That's my
Cornford runs
husband.
the town, he was
That's a road right away, right?
Yeah,
Okay. I agree.
anyone else?
Hey Chris, on the $1,500, could the council put a stipulation in there that the manager would have to call the president the pro tem president to get that small expense approved, rather than him just spending or she spending it themselves.
Oh,
And you got two people keeping an eye on 1,500, rather than one guy buying what he thinks he needs to buy.
Can they do that?
Could you do that?
I don't know.
I don't know if that would be even legal, you'd have to talk that one over with the lawyer.
Yeah,
It would
because
be-
then you've got one
it's a
person
great
on the
idea.
council making a decision
Yeah,
for
without the
seven.
council.
Yeah.
But
without
doesn't
whole-
the
You know?
president, if there's a tie, he breaks the tie?
No, he votes anyway.
He
Yeah.
votes anyway?
Yeah,
Okay.
it used to be that way,
Yeah.
but now they vote with everybody else, so
Yeah.
I think we can come up with some
We'll
wording
figure
that
out
will clean that
something.
up.
to stop that helter-skelter spending of
Alright.
money.
And you can make it very clear, not only to him, but department heads, that you don't cheat the system by buying $500 today and
$500 tomorrow, yeah.
To stay with.
Just to get out of
To
the-
get out of going to
Yeah.
council. I mean, the council's here for a reason and. But, that takes
Good
training,
idea,
a
but I
little
don't
bit of
think it'll
training.
work. Anything else? Can I hear a motion to adjourn?
I-
First,
What?
chief, any problems, everything while you're
No.
here? Everything going good with this high heat and rain and no trouble?
I haven't seen an increase in calls or anything like that.
Alright,
Should be something, what I'm waiting for is that if we're gonna get the LFAs this year, where the kids go into the unlocked cars.
yep,
We got off pretty good last year, and so I think the ones that were doing it they've moved on to other crimes, they're old enough to go to jail now.
yep.
Yeah, but they have brothers and sisters.
Yeah, but-
It's a small town.
Alright,
Anything else?
We're negotiating police contract.
Right,
Yeah,
we
we
don't know
don't have
anything about that.
information
Yeah.
on that either. We
No.
don't have
I
information.
guess we won't until.
I don't think we can have any of that
I don't
information
think
right now.
so. I don't know. I don't know. how
We'd-
that
Again,
works.
we'd have to go to closed session for that.
Okay.
so.
We've never had a union before, well, we did once. And then they didn't pay their dues and they got kicked out, so it went pretty quick.
We had a little bump in the car and that will come at the next meeting to get that fixed.
Okay,
Nobody got hurt, so
that's
that's an
good.
issue.
Rock should get another driveway
Okay.
at night, wasn't me.
Just saying, right?
That's what he hit me with the first day I started here.
Oh, okay.
I didn't get to my office door yet.
Just so you know, I don't spend anything over $20 without asking somebody first.
Okay.
I can attest to that.
Okay. Okay, so motion to adjourn,
I make a motion, we adjourn.
second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Alright.
Aye.
Against? Motion carried.